Hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to Proving Grounds. Eric, you've been removed from the bracket. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way.
You can see the tears in his
wins
eyes.
are now done, and yeah, he truly is. It's really sad. It's okay. I think you'll be fine. I know I'm feeling good.
You know what?
Cubby, we're on the chopping block, by the way.
You know what, Desterux, I think I'm gonna be having the same tears here in a sec if AOE end up winning another game, because I gotta say I'm out of it. I don't know if we want to queue up the graphic or not, yeah, we might be losing all of our caster credibility ourselves. You know, if we can't get a prediction right, why the hell are we even on air anyway? I feel like that's really the you know, the sentiment here when it comes to AM versus CAD.
I was praised as the biggest brain on the desk when we came into it, and as we're looking at it right now, I feel like I should just get I should get my hair back as I continue to lose more brain cells watching that game, because Cubby, I know you yourself were very passionate about a specific point in that game.
Hold on, let me go see if I saved that. Yeah, it's in my drafts, as draft was what I was very, very passionate about that game.
Way to put it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really didn't like the draft from GGA. I think that
The most tame version.
giving Vi and taking TK, like giving Vi for the TK was a mistake. Also, I do want to credit AOE for banning out Akali. I feel like that did force an Azir ban and enable the Trundle pick, which should have been banned from GGA, because Trundle went so hard that game, made it so difficult for the Jinx to function, not to mention all the melees. So I think there is some credit, as that was a clever move, I think, from Esports AOE. But Golden Guardians Academy, they have to go back to the drawing board after that one, because they're now one game away from being out of this tournament.
That'll be it, because considering if this is where GGA's end runs, then I'm sure they'll be quite sad about it. But let me simulate some things that I was doing while the game was going on with our half-price segment called Who's Laughing Now? Which is my entire time while watching you guys cast this is just looking at what's happening. Real simple and real easy game. A little bit newer. What we're going to do is you're going to tune into your headphones. You at home can also play as well.
Turn this up
and
real
just
quick.
Being able to hear which champion is laughing. So identify the champion laugh, and then afterwards, when you hear it, we'll reveal what the champion is, and then you are to pick the player that is most associated with a champion, or I find really just plugs on your heartstrings about them.
Is this
ready to go?
This is a bad time to say I play with champion voices off because they cloud audio?
That is a horrible time to say that.
Okay,
but,
well,
you know,
it's my
Spoken like a true color, man. Spoken like a true color.
You know what? That's me. And you know, Desterux, you've got the fever game going on, so you know, I guess we're even.
It's gonna be great. Destrix can't talk and Cubby can't hear. We're all gonna. We're killing it. Let's listen to the first laugh, shall we? All right.
I've got it.
Wow. Okay.
I've got it.
All right.
I think I got it too. I think I got it too.
Okay. You know what? I want both of you to try to say it at the exact same time. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. On your count. On your count. On your.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Akali.
Jinx.
Cubby said Jinx and Destrux said Akali.
It sounded kind of like maniacal to me, and there was a Jinx in the last game.
It wasn't maniacal enough, so it's not Jinx.
Fair.
You guys are so close yet so far. Production, can you just show them who it is? It's Kaisa. So definitely maniacal, but out of the void, I guess, isn't that scary, unfortunately. Now, the question is, can either of you guess which player this is associated with?
I'm gonna go with Array. As Array's Kaisa was fantastic and it is run with Resolve, and I'm gonna go with Array.
Okay, Destrux.
I'm gonna go with Array. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Same reason.
Are we wrong?
You are right.
Thank
It is
God.
indeed a Ray. He picked the champion himself. Now, Cubby, I was also afraid you might have also seen in the Discord too, so that's why I'm giving you an unfair advantage.
I'm not a cheater. You know, no, I did not see that.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm glad. We're good to go. Production, let's roll up the second laugh, shall we? Can we hear that one more time? If you want, I could also simulate it as well.
Is that all right? I'm just gonna guess Gangplank. It sounds kind of piratey to me.
Deep guttural voice. Deathstrox, are you also on the pirate train?
It sounds very Gangplank, but I also don't want to vote the same thing as Cubby.
I mean, you got it. Come on.
Hey, we're a team
Use
here
all-
today, Deathstrox.
Are we combining?
You could do it.
Is our caster name Dubby today? Is that what we're thinking?
Hey, if you guess GP and we both dub, it would be a
Okay,
dub.
okay, GP,
Yeah.
GP.
Let's go.
Okay, all right. You're both guessing GP. You couldn't be more off. Production, can you show them who it
I
is?
swear if it's volley. I swear if it's volley. That was my first. It's no W today.
Was a river of blood.
No, Dubby, indeed. In fact, you're the sadder version of Dubby. No, so you don't get any socks either. But let's see if you can try to redeem yourself by at least guessing which player is associated with the volley. Who you got?
Winnie.
Yeah,
It's Winnie?
Winnie.
Yeah.
It's Winnie.
Yep. All right, let's show the results. Who is it? At the bottom, it's Winnie, baby.
Played it like 20 games in a row last split. There's
Katie's
no one else.
associated with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Volibear is actually the first champion I ever played in League of Legends. Shout out to
Wow.
Old Volley. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Shout out
I
to
actually
Old
used to play. Deathstrox, I don't know about you, but I also played a lot of Volibear top as well. And like you said, well, he's although Winnie didn't play Volibear this game, but his Volibear is absolutely outstanding and truly has been one of the main reasons that we've seen that it really stepped up going into this PGCQ. Let's talk about our third laugh of the day. What do we got?
That was laugh?
I feel
Okay.
there's definitely
Okay.
a laugh there.
Hold on. I'm going to let you guess first, SRX, because I feel pretty good about this, knowing it's based off of signature champions
I
and hearing other sound effects in the background of this laugh.
Okay, I'll go
There's
first.
A lot of sound cues there.
Silas.
Yeah, I'm with Silas too. This time it's a dubby. This time it's a dubby.
It's a dubby. It's a dubby.
It's a dubby. It's a dubby.
All right. Let's see if Demacia shall be free.
Woo!
Indeed. All right. Yeah, I feel like the chains give it away a lot. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, Cubby, since you were so confident, can you tell me which player is associated with the champion?
It's gonna have to be Leader, as there is no way that Leader is going to be playing that champion today. If they banned it first on red side, I think they're gonna ban it first on blue side too. And I gotta say, that's a good call. He's damn good at Silas. Damn good at Silas.
Yeah, he's a fantastic Silas. We talked about his flanking abilities and how he sets up his plays for his team, and Silas is able to do exactly that with his ability and lead, just his own intuition. So, shout out to y'all for getting this. And for our final laugh of the day,
More.
I gotta turn it back
let
up.
us hear one more.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
sure, let's do one more. One more time. If you want me to simulate it one more time, I could do a if that helps. I think we're pretty close in the conjecture. You know what? In fact, let's roll it one more time just so maybe they can get this. Any guesses from either one of you?
I might guess Jinx again, but it's not Jinx. Maybe it's Ari, like bouncing like the Orb of Deception. Maybe it's Zoe. Maybe it's Zoe. Zoe for Young.
Okay.
Zoe was the one I was gonna think.
Zoe for Young.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, that's Rooks. You've been pretty much 0 for 3 guessing the exact same thing with Cubby.
No. We
Are
got the
you
last one. Right. We
confident
got
this
the
one?
last one.
Oh, right. You're right. You're right.
Don't do us like
Dubby
that.
on the last
One
one.
for
That was
three.
Dubby, yeah.
One.
Don't do us like that.
Okay, my bad. Okay. You're still sticking with Zoe. You're both on Zoe. Let's see if Dubby is present today or is it going to be Dobby? Let's find out. Russian. Show him. Who is it?
What?
APA's not playing in this game.
AP is not playing in this game, but can we guess who this champion is associated with?
Skytech? I don't know. I feel like there's an imposter.
Yeah, I actually really don't know this one. I just because it's something weird and toppy, I'm just gonna say Concept.
Okay. All right.
Really taking the Stealing Acadian's champ pull to heart, or not Alorum's champ pull to heart, you know, up top Concept.
Okay, it was Skytech.
Well, no, Cubby, you're right. It was Skytech. So that's an impressive. You win the game 2-1.
Bro, that was a shot in the dark. Glad I got the Silas. I'm still never gonna enable League voices. I'm sorry. I know I like him in the trailers and the skin previews, but I'm a purist. I got to be able to play at my highest level. I have to try my hardest to int my way to D3, D2. That's what happens when you don't play anymore.
Although I can't relate to the sentiment, I'm gonna chill at gold, but hearing Corporate Mundo sounds is more than enough for me, as he says little things about tax fraud. But speaking of things that are all the more fun, let's go into game number 2 and see perhaps if GGA can bring things back in our draft like how they did. Yeah, let's start it.
All right, Cubby, I'm just taking L's all day. You beat me in that game.
You know what?
I already lost the amateur wins.
Doesn't matter. We got the 1W. It was a team effort.
Okay.
We got the Silas. We can run with that. Have some confidence going into the next game. And hopefully GGA can do what we couldn't and string 2 W's together, as they're going to need that to come back in this series and keep their hopes alive.
Now, how do they start that process? Because you were very, very critical about that draft.
Yes.
Already, the same standard bans to come through. Silas and Akali still targeting leader. What comes up next, Cubby?
Well, I mean, step 1 for Golden Guardians Academy is red side. And I think that, like blue side, we've seen really dominate. I think, specifically the LCK, just so many power picks that it feels like, you get one on blue and it's really good. I think red side at lower levels of play, and especially for Golden Guardians Academy, is favorable because you get more counter picks. And if you want to play out 3 lanes in 1-3-1, it's easier to do that when you know the matchups. You can, opt into those instead of having the opponent opt in. So I like this pick for Golden Guardians Academy. I think that was step 1. Now that Fiora ban tells me that they still have a very high priority on Gwen, and I'm curious what AOE decides to do with Gwen up. They could deny it if they want.
Yeah, looking to steal that away after that Fiora ban went through. The question becomes, what do Golden Guardians have in response to that? Because you have to be expecting some of these more powerful picks. Actually, ooh.
Right.
Okay. Sivir getting locked in for Area of Effect.
I like Sivir a lot right now. I think that Sivir is very first pickable. She scales really hard and has a ton of shove. What I want to see Golden Guardians Academy do now, I think you have to deny Sivir plus Azir. This combo synergizes so well with one another. And it's also just an absurd amount of push and scaling. And if GGA is trying to 1-3-1, doing that against champions that get that much push for free is difficult. But they do not deny Azir. Instead, they take a Yuumi for themselves. So denying that from Sivir, I like a lot. They'll have Array most likely on Zeri with a Yuumi. That's a winning matchup with Gwen. So Golden Guardians Academy already setting up for scaling.
All right. And on that note, Cubby, we got to start putting out grades here. Golden Guardians Academy, what's their grading so far for this first part of the draft and their response to the Sivir pick?
Honestly, it's good. It's an A at the moment because it's going to force AOE to play fast because you are playing in a Yuumi, you are playing into Gwen, you are likely going to be playing into a Zeri here on 3. You do not win a game past 30 minutes against those champions. I know you have Sivir, but I feel like what Golden Guardians has around it is going to neutralize that. So I think AOE has a choice. They can take a jungler that they want here and, deny Azir from GGA. It has to be a Zeri here for Golden Guardians Academy. So that's why this time around, AOE can take the buy on 3, and it's much better. The point and click into these 3 champions for that engage, very strong. And Sivir helps your team be able to get in position to follow up on that.
And you're not falling into the same trap that Golden Guardians fell into last time, where they left the Kench up, the Vi right away. Can just hop in with that point and click. The Kench denies that with the Devour, forcing Golden Guardians into a position where they can't grab the Kench anymore. The Yumi's already been locked in. The bot lane has to be shown.
So I want to see Enchantress bans now from GGA. Ban out Lulu. At the moment, Gragas a really weird ban there for me. Maybe they think it could be Gragas support. Might be a Skytech special that AOE's been cooking up that GG might know about. I think that splitting up the comp is really bad. Like, it would hurt Golden Guardians Academy a lot. I just don't really see where Gragas slots in. As I do want to see if AOE, what ends up happening around Azir. I think Azir is a champion that is very playable for them, pairs up very well with Sivir. It could be a nice selection here for GGA as well if they want it.
So the bans on Gragas and Aurelia going for the solo lanes so far. The solo lanes, definitely a hard lane to ban out if you're targeting over towards Golden Guardians. They already have the Gwen, so you don't have to worry about too much in that respect. What I'm looking at is going to be leader. What counter pick is he going to be going for against Young into this mid lane matchup? He does have that now that he's on red side, but of course the ban's so targeted towards that Sylas and Akali going for his champion pool. For the ban that comes out towards the mid lane again, the LeBlanc.
I want to see a Trundle ban. I think Trundle into AoE's comp is very good. And you can control a lot of space, and you have the move speed with the Gwen, with Yuumi, with the Zeri to kind of utilize that space really well. So I like this ban from AoE. I feel like that's necessary. Azir is still a huge power pick that's on the table here for either team. We'll see if Leader decides to take that for himself and deny it from AoE here.
Could go for the denial or could go for the counter pick, and he's going to opt into that counter pick. It's going to be J4 locked in. We're going old school. It's an old school jungler with Acadian.
I've been waiting for J4 to be played in the Vi. I'm really happy that Acadian's grabbing that. J4 did see some buffs on this patch. Now, the one thing I haven't mentioned yet about Azir for AoE, Young has yet to play it. As we mentioned, Young is an assassin player. He's really been sticking to the Zoe, the Syndra, playing for early prio. Azir, I don't know that fits that identity, and AoE doesn't think so either, as it's going to be Syndra, so trying to control the space in these fights with his big scatter of the weeks. It's still an early game plan here for AoE, and we'll see if they round things out with what I expect to be a Lulu for Skytech.
And a game plan that can work so well. Young, Syndra, this is his most played in his career. This is the champion he's gone to time and time again in his wheelhouse.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of comfort into there.
Support. That's why they banned out the Gragas. They're flexing Vi, baby. It's Skytech Vi support.
So Vi into the bottom lane. It's going to be the jungle Xin Zhao. That is spicy right there. Still in a little bit of that spice rock from Turmeric.
All right, so that's in my notes. That's an oops on my part, as Skytech has played the Vi. When he has played it at its best, it has been paired up with Kalista. This time, it's going to be on its own. We've seen Skytech do this as well. He has 2 plays on the Vi, and this really throws a wrench into things, because now you have that point-and-click engage from support, but all the follow-up, you have Sivir empowering a Riven, empowering a Xin Zhao. You have Syndra for the early game, and that's what it's all about for AoE in this game. Hit that early game hard. If they do not, they are cooked. This game is going to game 3 if they don't win in the first 10-15 minutes of this game, but they're very powerful for the early stages of this one.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love the pick potential that you have there. Syndra, Scout of the Week, is one of the most iconic pick tools that you can grab on the mid lane mage, but having that paired alongside the Vi and everything that can buff up and have the entirety of AoE's composition follow through, oh so beautiful. Golden Guardians, it is the last chance right here. If they fall, they are out of this tournament and another amateur team proceeds.
Backs up against the wall. And I again, for GGA, really have a lot of empathy for this roster. All the swaps in service of the LCS team has not made things the easiest on their tournament hopes. Now they're being tested. This is a group of experienced players with a couple rookies that I think have stepped up in the back half of the split. We're going to have to see if they can do it here and keep their tournament hopes alive.
All right, area of effect, Golden Guardians Academy, game number 2, now ready to hit the Rift. And with this one going on to the Rift right now, Golden Guardians, of course, their backs are against the wall, as you said. They have to play. They have to survive this early game. Who is going to be that early game contingency? Who is going to be the point they pivot off of?
Okay, so you can Vault Breaker over walls. Skytech doing so here with Sumudo, as the Vi and the Riven are looking. And we'll see if they are spotted. It is a sweeper start for the Xin. So Winnie not going to sweep out this trinket. GG getting the full feast scouting, but actually they see him back up. So Concept is going to get caught, and he has no subs. Concept's dead.
He has no idea he's being pincered right now. Oh, Concept caught out over the wall. Vault Breaker.
Beautiful.
Combo is there, and Area of effect. Man, what a spicy early game invade, and the pathing combined alongside it. First blood to AOE.
That is so creative from AOE, utilizing the Riven and the Vi to the fullest. We've seen cheeses like this attempted, with Rakan, someone that is very meta that you can do this a lot with Grand Entrance early. But man, AOE already setting concept behind and getting first blood for Winnie, the engine of this team. Once he gets that first base, will be accelerated into this game.
I really want to have a discussion about that play. Who came up with that?
Beautiful.
Whose call was that? That was absolutely tremendous. Puts AOE in a great spot, especially considering Zamudo is going to be the recipient of some of that assist gold. We'll need it into that matchup once again, into the Gwen over on this top side. Winnie, as you said, performing oh so well, has improved oh so much, and seeing more of that early game influence now in these invades. Area of effect, a great early game start.
Game plan for Winnie, be top to bot, going to support this Vi, try and punish the Yuumi. Which, Zeri Yuumi, it's a very powerful lane that scales, but early, they don't have a ton of health. So this is punishable for the side of AOE if Winnie's able to get involved. So eyes out for that as Mudo.
Oh,
that's a kill.
So
one more.
Ignite tick.
Oh,
wow.
15
19
HP.
Was the number. Okay, 15, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was really close. I thought Zamudo had that, but that will be the TP out of concept. So Ignite traded for TP. That's a trade up for Zamudo. He will be able to reset once he gets that wave in and get a call for himself. So well played by Zamudo in this early game.
Absolutely. Even not having teleport, doesn't matter. He pushed the wave in. He's got time to reset and go back. Concept does interfere with that a little bit. It did prolong the recall coming out of Zamudo, but it's really not going to amount to too much, I believe, in the grand scheme of things. Zamudo, just a great early start from him, putting Concept onto his toes. Now for Golden Guardians, Acadian's trying to find an attack point of his own. J4 does have a lot of early tools when it comes to ganking. Back in like the old days of League of Legends jungle, he was one of the premier level 2 junglers.
Oh yeah, J4, your ability to get around wards, so strong on this champion, as we will see if that can be put to use by Acadian. I think impacting the top lane matchup. Keep in mind, Zamudo does not have TP available, neither does Concept. So I know it was bot trial early on the pathing from Winston, but once he cleans up this crab, he's going to have the timer to actually go top and try and punish Concept with that wave shoving into Zamudo. So I really want to see if Winnie is able to hit that and maybe punish Concept, who is missing that flash, or that TP. And with no TP, with that wave shoving into Zamudo, Acadian's going to arrive and make sure that this wave can get in and Concept safe.
I think we've seen this play before, but it was... I think it was the other way around with Winnie camping out in that bush with the Trundle. It will be Acadian waiting out a dash of his own, but Zamudo creating way too much distance. Look good when Winnie did it. Acadian will not get first blood on Golden Guardians end.
And that's greedy from Zamudo. Zamudo should know that Jarvan is, finishing the clear on that top side, given the mirror matchup from the junglers. So going for that trade, even though he was ahead, should know and understand the Concept's trying to get that wave in and has jungle support. So really well played by Golden Guardians Academy, as Acadian interacting with his laner very well there, ends up netting them a summer spell.
Now Skytech back into this bottom lane where you're going to see Acadian pathing towards on top of that. Already Scuttle Crab was picked up by AoE, so should get it spotted out on the rotation. Going to be no problem there. Pathing towards that bottom side as well as Winnie. Now an aggressive play coming out for Skytech.
Here.
Does see Acadian. Array falls down. 200 health remains. Boomerang goes out. Almost takes out Acadian in the process. A nice sidestep of the flag and drag. Skytech staying alive, but finally gets dropped. Prismal being the recipient of that kill.
Skytech greeting the flash, ends up biting him as he goes down, and Acadian on this Jarvan has been everywhere in this early game, Desirux.
Ooh. Oh, so cheeky is Lynx, acting like he didn't have a ward in there. We'll prolong that recall, but not going to get the kill onto that one. With that play, evened up 1-1 apiece into this game. Still needing those early pieces of AoE to start enacting more and more, and that's what Winnie's trying to do right now as he sets up into the mid lane, just going after the minion waves themselves. Young doesn't have too much in terms of mana to continue, so trying to prep that knock, will not get it. Does get out the Emperor's Divide.
Just gonna team push that lane in for Young as Leader on this Azir. A very strong laner on the Azir. We've seen Leader perform very well on this champion in the laning phase, and you can see him pulling the wave to keep it frozen in his favor. Really good from Leader here, as we will see what the first move ends up being for AOE. As this early game for Golden Guardians Academy, keep in mind, it was a first blood for Winnie. He hasn't been able to get on the map as well as Acadian has early, who has found 2 really nice gank angles to help each side lane. Something that Golden Guardians desperately need in this game, in this series.
Ooh, Concept just going for the all-in. Both of these top laners going to skirmish up here. Concept versus Amudo. Amudo doing so well into that first matchup, getting the Riven. Now has a kill lead into this matchup for the game number 2. Concept still having to show up over here. And Concept, you know, typically we've had him more be that tank player in the regular season of Academy. Since Proving Grounds has started, he has gone into more of these side lane control picks. Lots of Gwen picks, as we saw in this match. Did play Jax earlier in the last matchup, but now focus will be onto this bottom side. Wind becomes lightning onto Array, but too far away he is. No game.
You guys, keep in mind that this early game for Golden Guardians Academy, this comp scales to infinity with Yuumi, Zeri, Azir, Gwen. It's an even game. Golden Guardians is way ahead at this point, as AOE need to make something happen soon here, Deserux, or else they will get outscaled.
And he is heading over towards his top side. Now, Rift Herald, big value point to get. The local gold was already talked about, but the turret plates, can't take a tower with that. It pays very well dividends into the early game win condition that Area of Effect have gone towards. So Winnie now starting that up, does have the backup of Skytech, as they are going to move quite a bit of resources towards this Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's the full rotate. I think this is forced from AOE, and because they had bot push, Skytech and Lynx are here first, and Golden Guardians are matching, so this will be them behind on the play with AOE getting this objective for free. Again, AOE need to make plays like this early with this composition. They need to start stacking up a gold lead, or else the scaling is really desperate for them in terms of how they fare against Golden Guardians in this matchup. So the fact they are able to get Shelly for free, good step for AOE. Gonna need a lot more, though, if they want to catch up in this game.
Step number 1 coming out for AOE with that Rift Herald acquired. Golden Guardians will respond with the very standard way to go. Just start up the dragon. Oh, actually, not even going to go for the startup there. Just getting the control of the deep jungle. And lots of deep control to follow suit there. See, Winnie is going to be walking over control ward pretty soon. Ward right behind the dragon pit. Blind will be AOE to Acadian's whereabouts.
If Winnie's smart, he goes north. He doesn't actually check this side of the jungle, as Leader was hovering very heavily down towards the bot side, but it does appear that Winnie will show. Acadian will be spotted as junglers pick up knowledge on the other. And that does leave our top laners to themselves. Ooh.
Look at this. Rotation coming out. Everyone headed over towards the dragon pit. And now flag and drag. Out comes the Cataclysm. It's going to land onto Young. Looking to follow through will be Leader. Emperor's Divide. No more flash available, so Young will go down. But Winnie still gets the kill. It takes a while for Young to fall. Now Winnie chasing onto Array. It results in a 1-for-1. But priority over to AOE. Health bars a little bit too low for Golden Guardians to still stand in position towards the Dragon Pit.
Leader has to clean up this wave. Does have TP coming up soon, but I think you're right, Deserux. That's going to be Dragon going over to AOE, so the 1-for-1, good for Golden Guardians, but the fact the objective goes in AOE's favor means they went out on the trade.
They positioning forward. Teleport coming out from Young to show up over in the mid lane, catch the wave. Ultimate going to be used here from Array. Wind becomes lightning, chaining down. They're looking for a fight to follow suit. Acadian walking forward, but look at the flank play that can come out of Young. He gets there in time. Recall called by Area of Effect.
2 bonus flashes for Golden Guardians, actually really good in the back half. So again, I think Golden Guardians ahead of where they should be in terms of the game pace, as Acadian sneaking around trying to find someone that's not able to find him. We get a replay. Hey, I'm surprised that Golden Guardians opt into this, because they can see themselves being collapsed upon. I think they thought they could be first to get Young, but Young survived for so long, and while this replay is going on, Zamudo solo Boldo with the top side.
Pure chaos across the rift. You thought the fight was towards Drake? Well, it's in the top lane as well. It's all over the place. Zamudo with another solo kill against an Academy top laner, finding that into concept on this volatile Riven, getting that bank.
Cashing in again. And, you know, you were talking about Concept earlier. Concept, it feels like Concept has really tried to expand his champion pool into more of the meta picks. I really do like his Gnar. But let's take a look at this one. See how Zamudo is able to take him down. Zamudo down a level. Exhaust is up for Concept. Is Concept going to Q the wave? No. No, Zamudo sidesteps the Q and just falls into through Exhaust. As able to win out. Well done as now SkyTech. Oh, we're going.
Now, area of effect. The assaulted battery onto Prismal gets dropped by the Unleashed Power. They're going to go after Acadian on top of it. Should be another kill as he gets slowed by the Audacious Charge, but Wind becomes Lightning, will not land. Doesn't matter. SkyTech can go right through that wall, chase him down. Another kill acquired and a kill lead, along with a gold lead coming out from Area of Effect. What is happening right now, Cubby?
AOE need to make plays at the moment. They're finding them. As Prismal was off the back of one of the Golden Guardians members, and SkyTech says, all right, that's cool. I'm just going to press R on Yuumi and get myself a free kill. AOE ends up finding a bonus kill on Acadia in the back half. And with all this tempo on the map, the map's all theirs. They drop Shelly. It's going to be 3 points going over to Young and Winnie. Not 2 points.
At Area of Effect. Thing about this roster, not even the roster, about the organization, like last year, it was nothing but teams getting acquired by Area of Effect, AOE, all over the place. They do it again this year, but this time they get 2 teams to Proving Grounds, and both of them are performing. Ginger Turmeric, we already saw. Now Area of Effect proper. This main roster showing up on the Proving Grounds stage against an Academy squad.
This is hella impressive because, I mean, AOE, again, is an amateur organization. We look at some of the other orgs that have 2 teams in this tournament, EG and CLG. AOE as an amateur org are outperforming both of them. That is crazy impressive from this amateur team. As see if they can continue. Zamudo gonna need some help here. Nice E, not enough though.
Oh, yeah, pretty nice right there. Using everything you really could.
Cadian's got R.
Still under the tower.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Didn't blow it.
Yeah.
It could have been flashed, but again, you're trading out R for flash, so I'm really surprised that Acadia didn't attempt the Cataclysm. Zamudo escapes.
Things are not going right for Golden Guardians, and they very much need them to. Again, tournament lives on the line. If you lose here, you are out of the tournament. This is the lower bracket. An Area of Effect are fighting with purpose as they set up towards this mid-end. Zamudo should be able to spot out Acadian, but only stealing away the blue buff. Zamudo will not challenge that. The rest of Area of Effect, however, see that and start positioning towards the bottom side. Array trying to beat the punch on this play, but Lynx is going to be okay. And now behind the tower comes SkyTech.
Oh, they're cutting it off.
Comes Winnie, comes Young, and there's nowhere for the bot lane of Golden Guardians to go. Gray screen for both of them. Ooh. Leader far too slow.
AOE, a play is attempted on the top side. They attack on the bot side. And again, this Competent has to hit the mid-game spike, has to make plays, has to play fast. They're getting the windows and cashing in, Deserex.
They're cashing in big. 3K ahead at 14 minutes. Turret plates now falling and looking to get the first brick to continue this gold lead. Over into the bottom lane, SkyTech, Winnie, Lynx, all going to cash in and take that very, very well-deserved recall.
We're going to get a replay. I do think the extension for the first brick might cost them the dragon. We'll have to keep our eyes on that as we get back out on the map. But Ray, Prismal, looking for plays, looking for something proactive. But keep in mind, Acadian just showed on the top side to try and attack Zamudo. They know that they have a numbers advantage on this bot side. So for Vi, for AOE, you have point-click CC. You have a 4v2. That's free.
Golden Guardians finally finding a response of their own. Acadian will start up the Rift Herald there. After all those resources committed, it is the response to go for. 4 Golden Guardians right here to try and make sure that they don't bleed out too much in this early game that Area of Effect have been dictating. They're going to continue to dictate it over towards the bottom side of the map. Winnie trying to establish a dragon stacking win condition as he will grab the second one, but Acadian will make his attention placed elsewhere, going towards his top side of the map, making sure that Array gets some gold of his own.
Azeri needs to be snowballed. I mean, really the key is once Zeri hits 3 items, I think that's where life can kind of be hell for AoE. But again, AoE has ways to deal with Zeri. Like, Vialt into Scatter the Weak is very easy to execute on the side of AoE main. So I want to see if, you know, they can continuously take down Zeri. It's only going to get more difficult as this game goes on and as the Yuumi gets stronger and scales more. But at the moment, as you called out, Tesserex, this game's all AoE. The onus is on them to make plays, and that's all they've been doing in this one.
Plays left and right all over the map. A lot of this dictated by Winnie. We very much put him up there as the star of Area of Effect with the growth that he's had throughout the split so far, throughout the summer so far. And it's still on display now as he's on this Xin Zhao 3-0-3. Lots of impactful, creative plays like that invade that we saw at the very level 1.
Yeah.
Can't stop here.
I mean, and for Winnie, this would be so huge because, like, his story, the one split in Academy he had, took second with the TSM Academy roster that had Lost in Treats on it. Was very good with Dokla. Then went to Solafide. That was a top 4 team in AM that couldn't compete thanks to, you know, that org not following through on promises made to the players. Very disappointing for them. Winnie found a spot on Wildcard Red. They were the top amateur squad, but has not found an Academy team yet. Beating them would be huge in the second PG in a row, as here goes AoE.
Sultan Battery onto Array. It forces him to back out, but he still has the splash available now. Winnie going to join the fight onto Concept, gets the 3-talent strike knockup, still chasing onto Concept, but Leader and Acadian do have a flank angle, try and get some DPS in. Not getting close enough just yet. Scatter the Weak going to go out onto Concept. Concept running low. Here comes Acadian, jumps in with the Flag Strike Cataclysm, gets dropped in the process. Out comes the Emperor's Divide from Leader. Leader still standing tall. Leader still standing strong. Prismal falls, and Leader will get chased down by Zamudo in Area of Effect. They find the ace against the Academy squad of Golden Guardians.
And GGA are opting into these fights. You can retreat. You have Zeri Yuumi. You can walk out. They did walk out at one point, but the re-engage, it was Zamudo that found it because GGA stuck around. We're going to take a second look. This might be what breaks the camel's back in favor of Area of Effect, as this team fight was huge and it was a good disengage from Golden Guardians. Array is able to kite out, gets healed by the Yuumi. They could walk out of this and just drop mid-out or try and trade elsewhere, but they TP in. They try to fight it. The start of the fight goes okay for them, but the back half, Zamudo jumping over this Infernal Wall, totally splits the fight in favor of AoE. Watch this. Concept gets done. Zamudo goes over. Everyone's zoned. AoE, all of a sudden, they have 4 members hitting 2 members of Golden Guardians. This is beautiful team fighting from our amateur squad. Leader tries to save it, but shoves everyone onto Array, who ends up going down to AoE main. And again, this is a fight. You're fighting in the power spike for AoE. This is a fight that you could disengage. You don't exactly have to take. Golden Guardians take it, they get punished.
Area of Effect. They're getting closer and closer to putting down an Academy squad. Putting down Golden Guardians Academy. An upset. Another one just waiting to be found. Can they close it out, though? This is the point where we've seen a lot of amateur teams start to struggle. It's around the mid game. It's around closing out. They have a big lead to set that up, though.
And this is where Vi becomes so good for SkyTech. Because again, if you ever have a numbers advantage, if you ever see someone any little bit out of position that's not named Jarvan, you can press R, you can make a play on them. So I still think it's very winning for the side of AoE. They have 3 targets that are really good for Vi and Riven to jump on at the moment. And you can see how far ahead Zamudo is in the side lane as well. 4-0-3, Zamudo has a Maw. He's going to win every side lane he walks in. And Golden Guardians Academy, again, they can't execute this 1-3-1 that I think has been their real strength. They did opt into the Azir, which tells me it's more of a 4-1 game for them, but still, AoE's broken it. And now Acadian, he's in trouble. One shot.
Just like that in the blink of an eye, Acadian is gone. Winnie continuing the pressing guard, going to be popped, and Young just waiting to bring that damage in with the unleashed power. Array steps a little bit too close, and one more orb buries him. A follow-up kill big. Founders Area of Effect will chase down and absolutely slaughter Golden Guardians.
What a statement from Area of Effect. This org has a team in the upper bracket. They've knocked out 2 Academy teams, and their main team is about to knock out a 3rd for the org as a whole, as Winnie and friends destroying Golden Guardians Academy. And again, this was a tumultuous split, lots of roster changes in service of LCS. This team of 5, you know, it's been split practice from what we've heard behind the scenes for some of the players. Of course, Leader and Prisma both playing at LCS recently. That doesn't take away from what AOE is doing in this game, Deserex. They are playing fast League of Legends and punishing Golden Guardians for trying to greet it against them. As AOE, they've destroyed them in these 2 games.
They're playing out of their minds right now. Every single one of them. Young showing up in these mid-game picks. Winnie, the facilitating he's done for his lanes in the early game. Zamudo bouncing off of those early game setups. It's all coming together right here, right now for these proving grounds dreams of the roster of Area of Effect.
I mean,
and
this
Golden
is
Guardians,
crazy.
this is desperate.
Because like this core too, Winnie, Link, Skytech, we showed the stat that the school they play for, University of Western Ontario, they've won the East Conference 5 years in a row. Winnie's been a part of all those wins. Lynx was playing support for Gorica. Skytech was the coach this past split. And that's a collegiate team that has no backing. It's a club. It's just the players. So when Winnie's talking about the culture of them consistently playing the game, talking about the game, this is something that creates a 5-year winning streak in collegiate, taking first in the Eastern Conference. To see this core sync up with 2 talented young solo laners in Zamudo and Young and do this to academy squads is a real treat for these guys. As again, UWO, that's a college that needs support, deserves support given the results these players have put up. And now they're doing the same thing on the proving ground stage as well. Close to wrapping it up here, Deserex. This is a really, really statement series from AOE and a statement performance from Winnie.
Absolutely so, Cubby. Absolutely so. Now setting up. Cadian trying so hard with this engage. 2 ultimates burnt away, but Zamudo just casually hops out of them. And with that, you've lost your engage, even with the cooldown timers being low. Anything given up to area effect is a big win. And with those 2 cooldown timers down, they see Baron.
This could be spotted, though, as, yeah, it will be a blue trinket used by Golden Guardians. I think the big key for area of effect, they want to fight before Zeri gets IE. Once Zeri gets IE, it becomes a lot easier to control objectives with those Ws. So we'll see if AOE, how hard they push this. Because I think this is one where they're going to pull off. They're going to be okay fighting for Infernal, but this is a great pincer here from Skytech.
Skytech right on the flank. Emperor's Divide comes out. It's going to stop that choke point. Nice. So no advancements to be had from AOE. All off the leader, but the re-engage out of Zamudo onto Concept will cut him down. Now here comes Young. Unleashed power onto Array. Area of effect. Take down Concept and Array. And it's looking clinical here, Cubby. They're heading for Baron.
I mean, the disengage from Golden Guardians, frankly, was beautiful. The Emperor's Divide from Leader could not have been better, separating AOE in the choke for the rest of GG, but Concept pushes up, and now Young. Oh, Young!
Scatter the weak. The weak in this case is Golden Guardians. Area of effect are looking for more. Zamudo with the chase on to Leader. The help of the cat on the book will give Leader some health, some movement speed, but Zamudo's not done. He wants to chase for more. He wants to make sure he denies every single resource that Golden Guardian want, including a proving grounds spot.
All right, well, we just got on the soapbox here for winning, but Young, guys, he's 9-1-4 into an EU Masters champion. So take that EU greater than NA and, you know, obviously throw that in the trash can here. As Young's proving that NA is, you know, where it's at, obviously. This is the results-based analysis that we need in our Proving Grounds League of Legends. As Leader, again, he did play this fight fantastically. That Emperor's Divide should be fight-changing for Golden Guardians, but Concept goes back in, gets picked off by Zamudo. And then Young, man. What a play from this guy. We've been talking about the story of Winnie. How about Young? Playing on 100 Thieves next, at one point with Busio in 2021 and Instinct. He's really been, you know, I guess, amateur traveler, we would call it, an amateur veteran. But man, seeing him step up on the PG stage too, much like Winnie, well-deserved for Young, long playing career to get here, and really good to see him popping off on the champions we've known Young for in his time in amateur.
Young looking absolutely fantastic in the closing moments. What could potentially be the closing moments of this game right now. It would take nothing short of a miracle. It would take the turtle of a lifetime for Golden Guardians to let this gold lead even out. But that's a 12k gold lead, my dude. That is a hard one to turtle out and stall for. It is long from the position that Golden Guardians want to be, but for AOE, it is everything as they're looking for another flank, and they're going to find it onto Array.
Acadian goes golden. That's 3, though. That's the game. That's Rex. That's
they're
4.
going straight for it. They're going straight for the cleanup. One more to be taken down. Area of effect. It's a roster that was boasted so highly, but always came up shy in the circuit qualifiers. Well, no more. Expectations be damned. Academy be damned. The area, proving grounds. The effect, Academy destruction.
Oh my. August absurdity, baby. It keeps on getting crazier here, Desterux. As AOE, it's not just the fact that they 2-0'd Golden Guardians, it's the manner in which they did so. They destroyed this team in 2 games. I love the draft game 1. I thought it was calculated. Then game 2, it's an amateur special, man. It's balls to the wall. Who needs scaling? We just need engage. We need the fight. AOE took every fight they could, every angle the Golden Guardians gave them, and won. As straight up, they just brawled our academy team, took the dub. I mean, what a statement. Like knocking out players, you know, with the pedigree of leader. I know that, you know, going back and forth between rosters is tough. The pedigree of Acadian, someone that last year at this time in the LCS was a top 5 MVP candidate. What a story for this amateur team, AOE, and this org who is outperforming EG and COG right now in the tournament.
Outperforming them on 2 different rosters against academy squads. What a performance. What a performance. A 2-0 against Golden Guardians Academy. Area of effect esports, excuse me. Hats off to you. We are going to take a moment to breathe, to take a short break, and to really take in this victory that Academy just had. I know I got removed off the list. So did you, Cubby. Ravish, I know he's going to brag about that one. We'll be right back with more LCS Proving Grounds.
I'm here with my man Winston, bro. Long awaited. We had to get you on. Yo, homie, I talked to you like 24 hours ago. Did you think we'd be standing here talking again like this?
I mean, I told you I was confident. We had that game plan, you know, kind of just able to run through all the kind of problems, learn a lot from the Dig series. You know, an extra week definitely helped us, and you know, we were confident going into this. Definitely some adjustments to draft and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, every match I always go into, whether the underdogs or overdogs, I'm always confident in the work that I put in, trust that, and it resulted in a really strong showing today.
100%. You did talk about how you do outwork almost every single other LCS and Academy player. So, you know, we have those words on record there. Just to make sure that you are showing that work for sure. Now, thing is, did you expect GGA to draft the way they did? Because we were mad critical of it. And especially with that game 1 draft, we were thinking, yo, what are they actually doing?
Right. So yesterday, obviously, once we knew our side select, we definitely ran through a lot of different scenarios. And also, like, this is kind of ironic, and usually you ask for Shadow later, but Meech, you know, he's actually who we're going to play next, and he was my teammate last split. And just really running through ball matches as we thought that was going to be the pinpoint of this specific series, as well as, you know, what their 1Ps and things of that nature could be. But yeah, I think we were prepared for all the scenarios in which they brought up. As you saw, we had the Riven counter pick ready. We were, you know, considering the different scenarios, whether, you know, how Kalista and Sever would interact. And we definitely had really strong showings as well. You saw the 5 flex. I think we really were well prepared from this, and you saw a lot of you know, inspiration come from, you know, the series that happened between Team 1 and Live Sandbox last series. So yeah, just definitely wanted to come in here. They definitely, you know, we know later, you know, we know the type of champs he wants to play. And yeah, I think we had really strong drafts going into it. Obviously, it wasn't the exact thing we were planning for, but we adapted well, and I'm really proud that we were able to show strong games from both sides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know that I am absolutely hyped for that as well. But thing is, as we're looking at right now, I don't know if you remember, you did also lose to GGA. Like about last play, you guys did go down 3-2. So you guys are out here, you picked up the slack. So yeah, but to be fair, you came back, you picked up the slack. This is also the second time you knocked out another academy team. Yo, give me the feels right now.
Had to be the first to do it.
You right, you do your thing here, G. And I gotta say, I'm proud of y'all. Average is proud of y'all. Y'all did a phenomenal thing here too. Now, The main thing is we could talk about the game all day, but I want to get down to something that's important. Banana Fish. Why is it amazing?
Okay.
Tell the people why they need to know why Banana Fish is banger, and who do you see yourself in Banana Fish as?
Okay, well, I don't want to be disrespectful to the people who are dedicated fans of it, but it's been definitely a couple years since I have seen it. So in terms of the character names and all that, it's gonna be tough. But it's one of those shows where it's kind of slow. It's really kind of slow paced. I think it's more like thoughtful. Really shows kind of social justice issues and things of that nature, and really shows kind of it's really one of those things where you're really sad. You can definitely ponder stuff. It really kind of has like an emotional attachment to you. And those are the type of things I think it's important and really, helps you really think more, be more critical, and just, really enjoy like a masterpiece such as that. And that's why you see, it's one of those that go under the radar, but it's definitely a really good one. So I suggest checking it out. And probably favorite character, probably one of the ones that dies or dies for his brother or something of that nature.
That dies.
That's
Sure, bro.
you get an attachment. You get an attachment. But yeah, definitely a good one. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. And two final questions for you as well. Now, in a race, you know the homie gets to go back in time and change stuff too. If you had homie's powers from a race, what would you go back and change for yourself?
That's tough. Honestly, I do have definitely kind of a lot of regrets that I've definitely learned from, kind of for how my career has panned out. Definitely looking back on those, a lot of the decisions I made early into my career, I definitely regret, and I don't want those to be the things that kind of define my career and who I am as a person right now. So definitely, a lot of the things that I have learned from them, it's tough to say because I regret those specific decisions, but you also have to learn from them, right? So yeah, I think there's definitely it's tough to say would I change things back in time, maybe something to do to help my parents early on in age or something stupid like that or thoughtful, but I don't know, but yeah, you learn from what it is, you learn from your mistakes, and it's tough to take them all back. So, but I mean, it's such a big question, like there's so many things, but yeah, maybe my time playing with my friends or something, I don't know, because those were the good times, and got a squad like that right now.
Yeah, well, that's what you like to hear. I appreciate you talking to me today, man. Massive congratulations. I know everybody else behind the scene was tired. I was yelling.
That's good. I like your energy. Keep it for the next interview. Keep it for the next interview.
You're right. All right, I'm gonna chill.
Yes,
I appreciate you, man. You take care, homie.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for everyone watching.